Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Chayin Apash coming at you with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be entitled Thought Criminals. Okay, and the reason I'm making this lesson is because this is the society that Esau is creating. Okay, a society where certain ideologies and thoughts that go against him and his system would be considered a crime. All right, and they've been setting this up for a long time, and we're at the end of it being accomplished, okay, which will be their NWO, their New World Order. I have a couple videos I want to play, and before I play that, I want to read a couple scriptures, and I want to start with Revelations. I want to start with Isaiah 29 and 20. We always bring this out. This is Isaiah 29 and 20. It says, "For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off." And you're about to see some videos that show you how Esau watches for iniquity, and the iniquity is against him. Anything that's against him. Okay, this is not even iniquity dealing with the Heavenly Father. This is iniquity dealing with breaking Esau's law. Okay, it says that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. And who reproves in the gate? The prophets. So all of these laws that they're setting up that's unjust, that creates thought criminals, that creates people who believe in the Bible wholeheartedly to be criminals and threats to society. Okay, these things are all geared through to the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So this is what they're doing. They're trying to get the just. They're trying to trap up the just and these different laws and systems that they're setting up. Let's go to Isaiah 10 and verse 1. This is Isaiah 10 and 1. And it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees." Right? Bill C9 is an unrighteous decree. Okay? And it's not just going to be in Canada. It's going to be, they're going to definitely target Australia. That's another place that's low-hanging fruit. London, so on and so forth. Places where people don't own guns that much. And then they're gonna target Babylon the Great with similar legislation. Okay, so it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed." Okay, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people. So the target is the Israelites, namely the prophets. Okay. Right, and the biggest concentration of prophets is out there in Babylon the Great, in America. Okay, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Okay, so this is what they're getting. This is what they're doing. All right, and you have to make sure that your words are seasoned with salt, because they're looking for any reason to accuse. Okay. So, here's an example. I'm going to play a couple videos. Let's start with this. This is from the movie 1984, okay, from the novel from George Orwell, okay. So, brothers should know about this movie, and if not, you should go and watch it, because this is the type of society that Esau is getting ready to set up, a dystopian society. So let's go ahead and play.
When own life thoughts occurred to me, I reveled in them. I went into the proletarian zones. I had sex with prostitutes. I deliberately contracted syphilis. It was at this time that I made contact with the resistance. I was personally contacted by the arch-traitor Goldstein and ordered to assassinate certain inner-party officials.
Bugger.
This I did. My agents forged documents and gained entry to the Ministry of Truth.
Thought crime is death.
Production figures.
Thought crime does not entail death.
I deliberately passed
Thought crime
4,000
is death.
truck accidents, with the result
I have committed,
many
even
soldiers
before
were
setting
killed
pen
and
to
many
paper,
others were wounded in their
the essential crime that contains all others
I
in
also
itself.
spent many hours of my free time encouraging my agents to deface party posters and hoarding announcements. I read and memorized Goldstein's book. For 30 years, I have plotted to bring down the past.
Thought crime is. Thought crime does not entail death.
Bugger.
This I did. My agents forged documents and gained entry to the Ministry of Truth.
Thought crime is death.
Production figures.
Thought crime does not entail death.
I deliberately passed.
Thought crime
4,000
is death.
Right. He said thought crime is death. Why is thought crime death? Because you're going to be dead to the society. Okay? You're going to be cut off from society because you're going to be ousted as a thought criminal. Like the person that you hear talking in the background, he is outed, okay, as a thought criminal, and they're humiliating him on national TV for everyone to see. Okay? So now, he's pretty much cut off from society. Now, what I want to do is I want to read Revelations 13. And I want to go down to verse 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, right? Which represents his system. Okay? That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the beast, the image of the beast rather, should be killed. Okay? I'll read that again. And cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay? And, you have, a point where people are going to be put to death. Certain people are going to be put to death. But then you got being killed in another way, which the elder Yashawamba likes to go into this, which means to be separated. Let's go into it. Let's see what we can find here. It says to kill. This is the word for kill. It says apokteno. Apokteno says to kill in any way, whatever, to destroy, to allow to perish, metaphorically to extinguish, abolish, to inflict mortal death, to deprive of spiritual life and procure eternal misery. Okay, to kill outright, figuratively, to destroy, to put to death, to kill, to slay. Okay, now, I believe when you go to the root word of apokteno, the word apo means of separation. Okay, of separation, which is, going into also the separation for the spirit and the body. Okay, but there's going to be a cutting off, a separation of you from the society if they deem you to be a thought criminal. And that's going to prevent you from being able to do certain things in the society. Okay? Hey, like Aaron Russo said that Nick Rockefeller told him that if they don't like what we're doing, we'll just cut off their chip. Right? He didn't say that necessarily they're going to be put to death. But with their chip cut off, it's like being put to death because they're not going to have access to anything. Okay? They're not going to have access to any food. They're not going to have access to a living space. They're not going to have access to anything that the society offers. Okay? So it's like being dead. That's why he said what? Thought crime is death. Okay? Now, I want to go from here to this video showing you how these Moabites live that have low social credit scores. Not a credit score, which that's madness and wickedness to begin with, but a social credit score, meaning the way you behave can determine whether you get access to food, whether you get access to an apartment, okay, a public transit, a car, so on and so forth. All right, so let's play this.
Picture your life in a place where everything you do, what you buy, how you behave, is tracked. The government gives you a score, and the score is a measure of how trustworthy you are as a citizen and determines what you're allowed to do, like ever. Boarding a train, getting a mortgage, all goes back to this score. It's called social credit. It sounds like that show Black Mirror, but it's actually happening in China. So how does that change you? Does it change you? What does your life look like when your every move is watched? The system's eyes are in big data, artificial intelligence, and roughly 200 million surveillance cameras. And that's totally fine with Ouyang Haoyu. She's 21, graduated from a good school with solid grades. She's diligent. She's nice. No surprise, she's a 752. That's her rating with Sesame Credit, a private company working with the government on the algorithms for the social credit system. The scores go from 350 to 950 and are based on habits and behavior. Buy clothes or diapers, it's good. A lot of alcohol, too many video games, not so good. Haoyu's 752 puts her in model citizen range and gets her discounts and privileges, like using a shared bike without a deposit. She likes it. Her friends do too. They all have pretty high scores.
It's a mechanism like pushes you to become a better citizen, to build on the trust, especially on the Chinese market.
Because you're not going to be punished if you haven't done anything wrong.
I think that's the point.
Moab likes slavery. Moab likes to be in slavery. So anyways, yeah, these Moabites, and they say Moab is smart. Oh, they're extra intelligent. I don't see them as intelligent. Okay, but anyways, nonetheless, okay, this is what you have going on in China, which is a prelude to what they're trying to bring worldwide. Okay, which is nothing more than a digital slavery. Okay, where every move is watched and monitored, and it can determine what you're able to do and what you can't do. Okay, and of course, it's all based upon what they are going to deem right and wrong. All right. Even Klaus Schwab commended China. Okay, and certain other elites, they commended China and their operating system. Okay, because this was really set up by the elites, the Edomite elites. Okay, this was set up by the so-called white elites. This is who set this up. Okay, even the man now, Xi Jinping, he's not the real leader at that place. Okay, he's nothing more than a figurehead or empty suit like DJ Trump. Okay, there's people behind him, and somebody brought out the family name. I can't remember how to pronounce their name. Something Ping, something else, but it's not them. It's a totally different family line. And that family line, that particular individual, the head of that family, he was taught in the UK, I believe, or in Europe, somewhere in Europe. He went to one of those schools. He was taught, and he came back with this communist ideology. Okay, I gotta find that individual's name. I looked it up. I gotta find it again, and maybe I'll do a lesson on it. So that's the bottom line. So this is all part of the plans of the elites, what they want to operate, what they want to set up. Why? So that they can bring in the micro C-hip. Okay, so let's go back to Revelation 13. And let's go to verse 16 now. It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads," which is what? The mark of the BEAST. and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're going to need that. You're going to have to get that mark, right? Which is the chip, whether in your hand or whether in your forehead to, oh, how can you get it in the forehead? You telling me people go get surgeries to get it in the forehead? That's what some of these simple-minded people were saying at IUIC and whatnot, you know, and the ISUPK and things, you know, places like that who don't believe what we're telling them is the MOTB, okay? But you could clearly see this is what they're promoting. That one Jake, or he looks like a Jake, and he talks like a robot, but he had the brain chip, and he was being used as a mascot. Okay, this is what's coming, man. All right, they're gonna be pushing this microchip real soon. Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised if a major event, I believe a major thing is gonna happen with this microchip in June, just to shame, just the Most High is gonna do that. I believe the Most High. This is my personal belief. I believe the Most High is gonna do that to shame Bishop Nathaniel. Make sure it happens, and he's gonna make sure something big dealing with the microchip happens in June. That's what I personally believe. Okay, so anyways, nonetheless, this is what they're bringing in. Okay, this is exactly what they're bringing in. Okay, and why? Because they don't want. They're tired of hearing the truth. They're tired of the prophets exposing them. This is Amos 5:10. It says, "They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly." And we're speaking the truth, we're speaking uprightly, and they want to do away with these words. Okay, they want to do away with the things that we're saying. Okay, because it's a threat to their society. Hey, in Job, it tells you that that the way they operate is in secrecy, in darkness. Okay, it tells you that in Job. Tells you that the light is a threat to them. Okay, this is Job. Right. This is Job 24:17. It says, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 16. It says, "In the dark they dig through houses which they had marked for themselves in the daytime. They know not the light." So they don't work in the light. They don't work in truth. They work in secrecy. Okay. And I was listening to the Apostle Gabar's lesson dealing with Carol Quigley, and how Carol Quigley was like, why don't they? I just want them to come out and just come in the open. I don't even have a problem with their plans, showing you that he's a devil, but I want them to just come out in the open with it. They're not going to come out in the open because they don't operate in the open, because they're doing wickedness, right? If the people understood what they were doing, the people with two brain cells to rub together, they would want to come up against them. Okay, this is why they don't do that, and the people are beginning to get that mentality to rise up against them. Okay, all right, and it's going to come to a point where they really are going to be looking for them. Okay, this is what the prophecy says. It speaks about, you know, the labor, all the hands of the wicked shall be upon them, which that word wicked is aimal, which means labor. So the working class and the middle class is get ready to to get active. Okay, this is Job 24:17, and I'm not telling people to get active. I'm saying that's what the prophecy says is going to happen. This is Job 24:17. It says, "For the morning is to them even as the shadow of death." Okay, so the morning represents what? The light. So that's like the shadow of death to them. If one know them, they are in the terrors of the shadow of death. Why? Because people gonna want to get them when they understand what they're doing. Okay. This is why they have to operate in the dark. Okay, but we see their plans. We see what they're doing. Okay, we've been put the pieces of the puzzle together through the Holy Spirit. Okay, starting with our apostles and elders. Okay. But they're tired of hearing this word. They're tired of hearing, the prophets. They're tired of looking at the prophets. Right? When you read what's that? Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. They were fed up with looking at the prophets and hearing. Matter of fact, let me get that. Let me get that real quick. This is Wisdom of Solomon. Solomon 2. Okay, they were absolutely fed up of hearing and seeing the prophets. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and verse 10. It says, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, not reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice," because we have the power. "For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth." Right? Therefore, let us lie. And when they have books on that, it's called the Bell's Curve and things of that, and natural selection and things of those natures, which shows you this is the mentality of the wicked, and that these Edomites are the wicked, because they do have books on that. You know, it says, "Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn." No, we're not for your turn. Okay. "And he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objected to our infamy, the transgressings of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts." Okay. "He is grievous," and this is why they want to do away with us. This is why they want to surveil our thoughts, because our thoughts are against their thoughts. "He is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion." The target is the men of the Lord. "We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him." And they're going to see that the words that we're saying is true. Okay, the Lord is going to show them his power. Okay, you know, so okay, because he will show his power, you know, through his men. All right, so you know, I don't even really need to play the rest of this, but you know, you've seen the point. I'll play this one more time, and then I'll close out the lesson. Just this part, because this is what's important.
That I made contact with the resistance. I was personally contacted by the arch-traitor Goldstein and ordered to assassinate certain inner party officials.
Bugger.
This I did. My agents forged documents and gained entry to the Ministry of Truth.
Thought crime is death.
Production figures.
Thought crime does not entail death.
I deliberately passed
Thought crime is death.
truck accidents, but the result,
I have committed,
many soldiers
even before
were
setting
killed
pen
and
to
many
paper,
others were wounded in their
the essential crime that contains all others
I
in
also
itself.
spent many hours of my free time encouraging my agents to deface party posters and hoarding announcements. I read and memorized Goldstein's book. For 30 years, I have plotted to bring down the party. I was sick in mind and body. Together with my colleagues, Aronson and Rutherford.
So, you know, you see the point on that. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom.